everyone, this is Pico Entertainment and we're back again, and here now we have another video for you, and this will be a review of the premiere episode of NAOMI. Now there'll likely be spoilers within this video, so just beware when going into this overall review. Now NAOMI is the latest CW superhero series within the Arrowverse, following the likes of Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends of Tomorrow, Batwoman, and most recently Stargirl and Superman and Lois. It debuted on January 11th, 2022 and was created by Ava DuVernay and Jill Blankenship. It's based on the comic book of the same name, which was created by Brian Michael Bendis, debuted in 2019, and overall the story concerned NAOMI, who was from an alternate universe. She was the daughter of two metahumans, and when her life is in danger, her parents send her away to this original Earth within the town of Oregon. And after seeing Superman in battle on this current Earth, she goes on to discover her own true origins. So after the long-running CW-verse, is NAOMI another successful opening, or is it another lackluster effort? Now from this opening episode, I'm really not so sure it's a big successful opening. It was very mixed overall, I'd say, and that's probably the best compliment that I could give the show. It wasn't terrible, but it was very lackluster, and overall such a typical entry to what we see within the CW network. In terms of the plot, it follows very much the similar beat to the source material. We open up with seeing NAOMI as a very happy young teenager, living life, having parties with her friends. She has very happily married adopted parents. One is a military officer and another is a linguist teacher. She very much aspires to Superman in terms of the comic book. And now I was confused at this point, because when they started name dropping Superman in the earlier trailers, me and a lot of fans speculated that would we see some sort of connection to Superman and Lois, and would this later on further connections to the overall Arrowverse. But the way they were playing it, certainly within this opening episode, is that NAOMI was fascinated with the comic book interpretation of Superman. We see her in later scenes where she's talking to other people, invested a lot in the comic book history, which is fine overall, but it just seemed at odds with very much the wider universe of the CW shows. If you're going to name drop Superman, then surely you would connect it to the Tyler Hoechlin version. Does it take place before Clark Kent had emerged as Superman? Is this the first couple of months where we see Superman emerging? I don't think it is, because that would throw up issues in terms of how old NAOMI is. So initially it was very confusing, but as we move on to the story, everything in NAOMI's life changes when she hears of the emergence of Superman during her class. She quickly runs out of the classroom on her skateboard, and then she sees Superman flying within the sky, and this causes her to collapse. So this is the beginning of her manifestation of her own powers and abilities, and this is something that we will see take place right throughout the rest of the series. She spends the rest of the episode investigating the appearance of Superman, and of course we have various commentary on social media. It was a very weird sequence where she's interviewing a lot of her friends, and we get these quick zoom in edited shots of everybody speculating about whether this is a real appearance from Superman or whether it was a video stunt. Again, people are reacting as if they haven't really heard of Superman before. So NAOMI continues her investigations, where she comes across a mysterious figure known as D within a tattoo store, and he seemingly knows certain elements about her, for example the year that she was adopted, and she asks him various questions. He manages to brush her off, but she's still suspicious. We see her senses of power manifest themselves again during a school debate where she collapses, and later on she awakes and she uses her super sight to possibly find an appearance of Superman within a set forest where she sees certain soldiers investigating him. She proceeds to the forest where she encounters a man known as Zimbardo, and this is probably for me the best scene when he's basically investigating her. He wants the disc footage, I believe, from the Superman appearance, and this is when he's really trying to get NAOMI to transmit her powers. And I thought this was a decent scene where we see the leaves come alive into the air within the forest. So this is standard storytelling where you're clearly establishing that this is seemingly the main villain throughout the entire story. At first he seems to have way more infinite powers than NAOMI, so over the course of the season he'll continue to try and manipulate her. So as an opening episode, it wasn't horrific, it wasn't terrible, but I just felt it was very by the numbers. There was no real special hook to keep you interested for any potential second or third episode. As I mentioned before, it did have a lot of those typical CW traits in terms of the teen language, very much hinting at the relationship dramas. So already we can already see the potential love triangle between NAOMI's ex-boyfriend and the female character that she was talking to within the comic book storyline. So we're going to see that manifest itself throughout later episodes. Now going into this show, there's been a lot of typical commentary that it's yet again going to be another woke entry within the superhero genre. We're going to see lots of hints at diversity and representation. I've already seen people denounce this show with those typical statements before even watching it. Now, I can say, having watched it, there's none of that. There's no woke commentary, there's no identity politics or social statements. It sticks firmly to the idea of Naomi aspiring to Superman and wanting to investigate his appearance and discovering her own power. So on one hand, I can credit the show for not falling into those similar traits that people so often associate with a project like this. I haven't read the comics, so I don't know if there's much more of an identity politics commentary within the source material. As I mentioned before, we will get some typical soap opera dramatics and love story because this is the CW, this is how they play. I'm not sure this is a show I'm really invested in. All I can say is that I hope it really stays mainly on the superhero aspect and doesn't fall deep into the social commentary. This is something that I feel has really hindered Batwoman, particularly in its second season. And if it can generate enough of a big antagonist throughout this series, then maybe there's more hope for it. And just to quickly mention, we did conclude the episode where we saw, I believe, the emergence of a Hawkman or a being from Thanagar. It wasn't a very good visualization. It looked very cheap, though I did like the lead actress, Casey Wolfall, in the lead role. She seems to have a lot of charisma and energy about her, and I think overall her lead performance will be key if they hope to attract a large viewing audience towards this overall show. So those are my overall thoughts and feelings on the premiere episode of Naomi. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As I've said, I'm undecided as to whether I will stick with this show or not, but if I do, as of usual with other shows, I will go on to provide a season review, so look out for that in the future. And you can also catch up other coverage of the other CW first shows such as The Flash, Superman and Lois, Stargirl and Batwoman as well, so look out for those reviews within the channel. If you have any other superhero shows or indeed any other shows that you'd like to see me cover in the future, then let me know in the comments and I will see if I can provide a commentary for those projects as well. Please also hit and like the subscription and notification buttons so I can provide you with more high quality content like this in the future. But that's it for now. Take care of yourselves, stay safe distances, and I will see you very, very soon.